Hello everyone, my name is Joe and I review all of your favorite TV shows on this channel. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. I'm reviewing The White Lotus, The Studio, Good American Family, Happy Face, and, well, Severance just ended, so Yellow Jackets. Soon to start The Handmaid's Tale, The Last of Us, and other stuff that I cannot remember right now because those two are the ones I'm excited about. I also have additional exclusive reviews on my Patreon. I'm still doing The Pit, which is turning out to be an amazing show. And I'm doing series, like season-long reviews of murder mysteries and crime shows. So join me there. It's hella fun. And this might be my last review of Good American Family because I don't see the point of this show. This goddamn show is just the strangest thing. The point of this show is to tell the story from all the different conflicting perspectives, right? They are telling it from the mother's point of view, where the child is evil, straight out of the movie The Orphan, which, by the way, is mentioned in this episode. The point of view of the dad, which is the mom is evil. The point of view of the adopted daughter, which is, I don't even know yet because we haven't gotten there yet, but I can assume of that of an abused child. And even in the way that they are doing the point of view of the mother, there is absolutely no way in hell that that could be real, because even if the child, the 7-year-old child who we know now was 7 years old, even if she was doing all of those crazy things, even if she was pulling those evil smiles out of her ass, she's a child. She's a child. Like, there's no way you are justified in reacting the way that she's reacting. Showing the mother's point of view just corroborates the child's point of view. Like, there's no other way around it. And in this episode, we get all of the things about the fact that she has hair, she had a period, that she went to the doctor about this. Apparently, she hadn't had any surgeries yet, so they were scammed from the adoption agency. And I was thinking, if this girl has some kind of hormonal imbalance, because she has a very rare form of dwarfism, right? She's definitely got health issues. She's going to need surgeries. If this girl has some type of hormonal imbalance that is like making her very, that is making her get into those, prepubescent phases very early on, with the pubic hair and with the period, and clearly the type of defiant personality that you can see in older kids. Maybe that's what it is. Like, why aren't they taking her to an actual therapist? Why aren't they treating this as potentially some developmental issue? Because it's just so freaky to me that the mother, she just didn't connect with the kid, right? She thought that the kid was off from the very beginning, and she did not give her a chance. Like, every little thing, she treats it as a threat instead of a behavioral issue, instead of something that is harming the kid. Because if a kid is doing all that kind of stuff, it's because they've seen it before somewhere. It's because they've been exposed to that kind of stuff. Kids aren't malicious on their own. And I mean, you cannot diagnose antisocial traits before they are 18 because it's part of growing up. It's defying the limits. It's defying authority. It's challenging all of this shit. It's testing your limits. And I just don't understand why she immediately went to, she's older than she's saying she is, instead of just assuming she has some psychological issues. I can't stand it. I don't know what else there is to say about this story. I mean, maybe, I don't know if I will continue to review this show because I don't know what is there to review. It's a freaky story. The mother behaved really badly towards this child, like really, really badly. I'm not surprised that she had allegations of abuse made against her. I mean, we haven't gotten to that part in the show, but I've already read about the story that she puts the kid in an apartment when she's 10 years old to live by her own and then flees to Canada. And I mean, the different perspectives are interesting because most of the incidents happen when she's alone with the mother, but then when she's alone with the father, everything is okay and she behaves like a child. It is interesting, but it doesn't change the story. It doesn't add much to the story because anyone with a logical, sensical brain can tell that if this was a child, she was 7 years old. By the way, it's been proven that she was a child. There's no way that the way the mother treated her is okay. There's no way. And by this point in the show, we are getting other aspects of her story that corroborate that she doesn't really care about those kids. She cares about her being right about those kids, because then her son, they're doing like an interview to a television show, her and her son with autism, and the son doesn't like the way it's going. The son doesn't like the fact that she like changes her voice and her personality for TV, and he asks her not to do it again. Like, he says, I don't like this. I don't like the way you do, like the way you talk to the cameras. I don't want to do it anymore. And then she drags him to New York to do another interview. I mean, he doesn't appear in the interview. That's good. But he still thought he was going to. She still dragged him there. So she doesn't really care about what her kids need. She cares about being right, you know? And I think that's like at the core of the issue with Natalia, is the fact that she thought she was going to save this harmless little girl, and then it turned out she had severe behavioral issues and she just couldn't handle it. Oh, and the insanity of the punishment system, the way that she started treating Natalia as an adult, like she's in an office. Not even in an office. I don't even know how to call it. Like in a military school for troubled kids. That's what that looks like. She's 7 years old. Insane. And then at the end of the episode, I think the show kind of transitions a lot more into the dad's point of view, because she says stuff like, see you, Jakey, after his son has just been complaining not to want to do this. She goes and visits Natalia's previous adoptive family. She finds out about her husband being fired and says nothing for the longest time. Like, she's going full on villain. And I feel like the first 2.5 episodes were her point of view. Now we're moving to that point of view, and we will end up at Natalia's point of view. But I don't know how any of these points of view change the story. Like, there's no way they change the story. The story is the same regardless of the point of view, because she was 7. She was 7 years old. She was a child. Even if she is behaving older for her age, even if she is having very disturbing behaviors, she was a child. So yeah, I'm just really so freaked out by this show. I don't know how y'all are watching this, but I wasn't aware of the story, obviously, because I'm not from the US, but I'm just freaked out. I'm freaked out by this person. She's freaky. She's freaking me out. I think it's interesting that Ellen Pompeo chose this role to kind of play someone who is ambiguous towards the public and potentially seen as a villain. That's interesting to me. But I don't know that the show is actually doing anything interesting. Like, I read a review of it in The Guardian, and they kind of pointed it out well. Like, it's a decent show if you're not familiar with the story, but it's not adding anything new. Like, the only thing it's doing is making the story more known to a wider audience, I guess, which could be good if the girl is still like looking for support, which I think she is, still like doing surgeries and stuff. But there's no way to point different perspectives. This is my conclusion of watching this show. There is no way anyone can like empathize with those parents. There's no way. Because even if we see her perspective, where she saw this evil child, she's a child. Maybe even if in the extreme case that she was doing all of these things, that she was giving her all of these noble, evil looks, that she was putting the kids in danger, she's a child. Even if she was behaving like an evil child, she needs to be treated like a child and given help and care. If she can't be in a home with people, if she's a harm to others or to herself, she needs to be given appropriate care. Not be neglected, left abandoned in an apartment. This is my take. Like, I understand that they were in a tough financial situation, and I understand that she was probably like way in over her head because she doesn't have an actual degree in child psychology or anything like that. But come on, like, You could have asked for help. You could have found out a way to deal with this. You could have taken your daughter to the doctor, to a therapist, like talked about it openly to other people. I think the reason this family took it so far was because the mother was completely unwilling to admit that she was mistaken, that she couldn't do it, that she needed help. And who suffered for it? The goddamn kid. So, yeah, it's just a freaky story. Freaky. I don't know that the rest of the season is going to add anything to it. So, yeah. I'll see you, I don't know when, eventually, guys. Bye.